Okay, guys, what's up? I'm gonna let us chime in here. I'm gonna wait till we have about two people on. Again, we got more more drama, more news. Waiting. Give me a couple seconds. Checking the chat box. I had to go live, like I said, because we're. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know who just jumped in. It's our first viewer. I got two viewers now. We got new news on Earl Thomas again. This is something I just found. I've been trolling. I'm trolling Seattle, bro. I'm not trolling Dallas anymore. We're trolling the wrong area. I'm looking at Seattle, and I'm finding new stuff. This just came out recently. This was from earlier this morning. I want to put this out. Don't know who's in the chat room right now. We got three guys in there. What's up, Buddy Johnson? Hey, brother, how you doing? Uh, I want to read this to you guys real quick. This is interesting. Uh, the Seattle Seahawks had an injury at practice, I guess, yesterday. Guess where the injury was? They had an injury at safety. So that kind of puts Earl Thomas in more of a needed position in Seattle. So I want to go over what it says real quick. Got to throw the glasses on. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys can read this. Let me go over it real quick. It says, as you guys know, Earl Thomas hasn't shown up. He's holding out. All those things are going the way they're supposed to. Hey, what's up, Stephen Robinson? Hey, go Cowboys. Hey, guys, subscribe and join to the channel. I just did a video about 45. Actually, I just stopped it like 15 minutes ago. But I went online and I was checking things out. Hey, what's up, Mikey? Annette Balando. Latino in the house. What's up, brother? Go Cowboys. You guys subscribe and join to the channel. I just started this channel about 3 weeks ago. I'm in Kabul, Afghanistan. It's a new thing for me, but it is growing really quick. We got new news on Earl Thomas. I did a video about 2 hours ago. It started. I went an hour and a half long. I apologize for going so long, but we had a really good session. But we got new news on Earl Thomas that I'm just now reading. This is straight out of Seattle. I found out the best thing to do is look at Seattle news. Seattle news is putting out like crazy shit stuff, whatever you want to say. They're putting out some stuff that on the Cowboy side we're not picking up, and the reason we're not picking it up is it's not being filtered that way. But check this out, guys. Actually, what happened is Seattle had an injury in practice yesterday. One of their safeties is down, and for some reason, Seattle is still counting Earl Thomas as one of their safeties. I don't think that's going to happen because they haven't shown that love to him that you guys know the Cowboys are going to show. We're on the edge of a Super Bowl. Yeah, brother. Do you think Jalen Smith will be? Oh yeah. He's dude. They said he's put about 15 pounds of muscle on this. You guys can look at me and say, hey, I'm not an athlete or whatever. I haven't been in the gym in about a year. Last year I was 192 pounds, 5'6", and I could bench press a house. I took a year off, and I lost so much, but I've been busy. So yeah, I think Jalen Smith is going to bring it back. I think he's recovered well. I think he's got his speed back. He's got his left to right, his front to back. I think he's got all that covered. We're going to be straight with Jalen Smith. I think those three linebackers we got are probably the best young linebacker for you. As you guys know, Sean Lee's probably the oldest guy on our team right now. He's our veteran. But I want to go through this video. Let me show you guys. Hey, what's up, James? Thanks for coming back. I apologize for jumping in again, but we have new news, James. I know you were here. James was here earlier on the show about 30 minutes ago. We got new news on Earl Thomas, and I want to read this to you guys real quick. The Seattle Seahawks had an injury yesterday, which they really haven't publicized well because, of course, they're trying to keep their safety position under the radar. So I just got a hold on. Just got a message from Mark Holmes. I agree with what Mark Holmes said. Yeah. Oh, that's from Akers. What's up, Akers? No, I sent a message to Mark Holmes and Akers 80, who's on my page also. He replied to the message I sent to Mark Holmes. But yeah, what happened is Seattle had an injury at safety yesterday. They didn't post that. They're trying to keep it, I guess, undercover because, of course, that makes Earl Thomas more valuable to them because one of the safeties they brought in to cover for his absence is now injured. So I want to read this. After practicing 2 days earlier this week, working at strong safety with the defense at Bradley McDonald at free, Maurice Lawrence has been sidelined for a flip hexer. Excuse me, hip flexor, not flip hexer. Too much rum and coke. I apologize, guys. But bro, so what we got is one of the safeties that was backing up Earl Thomas's absence now has a hip flexor. So he's been out of practice now for the last day and a half. Pete Carroll was really high on this guy, Alexander. He was one of the reasons that they weren't reaching out to Earl Thomas and pulling him back is because of this situation. So I just wanted to get you guys up to date on that. With Alexander out, Earl Thomas is and remaining on the holdout. The safety duo for currently the safety duo for Seattle is McDougal and Tedrick Thomas, or excuse me, Tedrick Thomas. So actually, Seattle's a little thinner at safety. I hope this doesn't affect anything. I hope the Cowboys get this news before Seattle decides to reach out and maybe they're in a position they have to pay Earl Thomas now. Maybe they're in a position they have to renegotiate. I'm hoping Earl Thomas holds out. The messages I've sent Earl Thomas on Instagram, and he has replied to one of my messages. The messages I sent Earl Thomas was, "Hey brother, hold out. He's got a baby on the way. He has a baby boy that will probably be due sometime around, I think, December, January." I sent him a joking message. "Hey, wouldn't you prefer to have your son born in Texas? Keep holding out, brother. Hang in there. It's a business. You need to hold out and get the money that you deserve because you deserve that money. Dallas will give you that money." He's heard all of that. He has 1,000 messages. But I did want to get you guys out. One of these safeties brought in, or that was there originally, to help cushion that safety situation for Seattle, is now down with an injury. So I'm hoping this doesn't affect the situation in a bad way for the Cowboys, but we will see. Let me read down. Okay, let me go down into this other area of the contract that I wanted to talk about. At this point in time, what's going on with Earl Thomas is, what's up, Akers? How are you doing, brother? I had to jump back in, give you guys a quick update. I know a couple people just joined. What's going on is there's some new update with Earl Thomas. The reason there's a new update with Earl Thomas is no, it's serious. The title is serious though. There's newer update to Earl Thomas. Seattle has had a injury at safety with one of the safeties that has been there or they brought in to cover the Earl Thomas absence. So they're actually thinner at safety today than they were yesterday. So the situation with that is they may be more aggressive to work out a deal with Earl Thomas. I hope they don't re-sign him. I hope for a fact, James, I was replying to your message. I hope that whatever they offer him, he tells them no. And I don't think they have the cap to pay him what he wants anyways, unless, like I said in the last video, unless they kick that money down the road. What that does is they can give him money this year, next year, and the next year, or whatever, a 5-year. That's not good. They had an injury at safety, and the guy's probably out He's been out for a day and a half now. He may be out long term. If he's out long term, that puts Seattle in a situation where Earl Thomas is more important to them today than he was yesterday. So that's why I wanted to get this out real quick. At this point in time, actually, Seattle has not fined Earl Thomas. They have the option to fine him. Now, everyone's stating Earl Thomas has been fined this, he's losing this much money every day. Yes, he's only losing that money if Seattle, by contract, Seattle decides to enforce that. At this point, Seattle has not enforced it. So what's going on is Earl Thomas is sitting at home. He might be losing this money, but he may or may not be. It depends on what Seattle decides to do. Now, if he decides to leave, this is one advantage Seattle has at this point. If he decides to leave, if Seattle decides to trade him, they can fine him that amount if they want. At this point, as you can see here, I don't know if you guys can see that it's really small, and I don't have my other computer with the touch screen where I can zoom in. At this point in time, right now, they have the capability to fine him $550,000. That's up to current. What he's missed as of today is $550,000 worth of fines. So this puts Seattle in a good situation because they can enforce that or they cannot enforce it. At this point, they haven't enforced it. They're just holding that over his head to show up. At any point in time, Seattle's executive management could say, hey, enforce the penalty. They could enforce the penalty, and that $550,000 will come out of what he is being fined for. So this is where we stand right now, guys. I wanted to post this up because, like I said, they've had an injury today or yesterday. It wasn't put forth, and yeah. Already he's been fined He hasn't been fined. Excuse me. It's totaling. And Seattle has the decision: do they want to enforce that, or they can hold it back? Of course, if they re-sign him or he decides to show up, that's the situation. If he decides to show up, they can take that 550 grand that's on the books. It's just on the books right now. They can take that 550 grand that's on the books and delete it. He comes in, he gets his full salary, he moves forward, he plays the year out, and he probably plays half the year out injured. He probably complains about hamstrings and this and that. And if they don't give him a new contract, what I see happening is he's going to go in, he's going to play, he's going to have minor injuries, hamstrings, and those such type. Yeah, is not shit, buddy. Where you at, buddy? What kind of money you making, man? 550 grand is big money to anybody. I'm telling you, I make good money. I don't make Earl Thomas money. I make very good money. I'm gonna tell you right now, my Bentley's in the shop, and every day I call to check on my car. You always late to the party, Hawk. Where you at? Just kidding. But hey, buddy, I'm gonna tell you, my car is in the shop right now, and I've called Germany, I've called England, I've got some shit going on with my car, and I'm doing all right. But promise you this, it don't matter what you make, you spend it. It doesn't matter what your salary is. Whatever your salary is, that's what your expenses are. And these guys put money away. How many players do we know that is broke ass? How many broke ass players do we know? And I know Earl Thomas, I don't think Earl Thomas falls in that category. But I will say, guys, this injury thing could play out to where they just give Earl Thomas what he's looking for. There's a lot of players that they make bad investments. They have guys coming up to them, offering them business opportunities and those type things. So I just wanted to get this out. As of right now, I don't know how many people just joined in. A real quick update is we've had some injuries in Seattle. Not we. I'm a Cowboys fan, as you guys know. Back in the house, represent the star with the bling bling for life, baby. Uh, and when I get home in Houston, you guys will see my full studio there. Um, Dak in the house, Zeke the Freak. Zeke the Freak is gonna, yeah, we're gonna have a good season. But I just wanted to get this out. Seattle's had an injury at safety, so that may put a little bit more pressure on them to deal directly with Earl Thomas and make something happen. I hope that doesn't happen. Maybe this will put the Cowboys in the hot seat, and hopefully, they'll make it happen. Like I said, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, there's two things that I'm gonna be pissed about. If we don't use Rico Gathers properly, and we release him or cut him, or he doesn't play much, and if we don't sign Earl Thomas, those are the two things. I don't give a damn what happens this year. If we do not win the Super Bowl and those two things, now if those two things happen, if we use Rico Gathers properly and we sign Earl Thomas and we don't win the Super Bowl, now I can tell Jerry Jones, Stevens Jones, and Jason Garrett, hey, you guys did what we could. We did our best. We did our best, but we didn't win the Super Bowl. But if we sign Earl Thomas and we use Rico Gathers the right way, we run the ball, we stay behind that line, we grind it out, we make the games, slow and long, and we, when we need to throw the ball, when we have a sack or a penalty, and we get to those, second and 20 or third and long or second and long, we need to put Rico in there. We need to use the offense right. If Tavon Austin doesn't work out right, I'm pissed about my homeboy, man. Ryan Switzer. I'm pissed about him being gone. I'm telling you guys this: if we don't win the Super Bowl, and these two things don't happen, if we don't use Rico right, and we don't get Earl Thomas, and we don't win the Super Bowl, all the Cowboy fans are gonna say, "See, executive management, Jason Garrett fucked up because we didn't have Earl Thomas, and we set Rico Gathers, and we didn't play him right." Those are the two things. That's it. If we have a good season, uh, and those two things don't happen, but we don't win the Super Bowl, it's still not good enough. That's the bottom line. I think Rico Gathers is a couple points a game, making you a couple first downs in the red zone and those type situations. And Earl Thomas, nobody will have 40, 50-yard plays on us if we have Earl Thomas. There won't be any. So that's all I wanted to get out, guys. Seattle has an injury in their secondary. One of their safeties is down. Earl Thomas might be a little more important to them now. I'm hoping the Cowboys jump on this. My chat box keeps jumping out, guys. That's not why I'm not. It's probably something to do with the internet. I hope the internet is okay. Acres, yeah. Hell yeah, we are. Yeah, we're straight. We're good. We should be strong. Need Rico to spread the field. So yeah, Lincoln, Hawk. When Rico runs that seam route, when he runs the seam route and he takes off from the tight end position and runs straight up the middle of the field, he's going to pull the linebacker and the safety. So if Rico runs a seam route and pulls the linebacker and the safety, and you've got the guards pulling, and you throw just per se, you throw a screen pass out to Ezekiel Elliott in the flats behind Rico running the seam route, there's nobody left on that side of the field. You can do it to the left, you can do it to the right. But if Rico runs a seam route, guaranteed that linebacker is going to pull with him, and the safety is going to pick him up immediately. And that leaves that whole side of the field open if you have one receiver on that side that's also even if he's running a slant, it puts him in the center of the field if he's following that receiver. So, man, Rico can really change the whole dynamics of our offense. The same way as Tavon Austin can change our offense on running the jet sweep. So I wanted to get that out real quick, guys. I appreciate you joining in again. I apologize for jumping right back in, but like I said, Seattle had a injury at their safety position, and the thing is, the biggest update on that is they really haven't fined Earl Thomas yet. Earl Thomas has $550,000 as of today on the books that they could fine him if they want to fine him. They haven't fined him yet. So it kind of depends on what he decides to do. If we see that fine hit the books, if that fine hits the books, that means he's gone. That they're getting rid of him, and you'll see, we'll see that happen before it does happen. If those fines don't hit the books, like as of right now, that means they're still working with it. They're still trying to make it happen. But I don't think they're going to give him any kind of salary increase. I don't think they're going to give him any kind of benefits. And the reason is they paid him up front. They gave him the guaranteed money up front, and that's what they're saying. We'll see. Appreciate it, Akers. You guys, appreciate you joining in. Hey, Buddy Johnson, don't know if you're part of the channel already, but please jump on the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. The more people we have, the more people I will be able to keep updated. I'm in Kabul, Afghanistan right now. I leave for Istanbul, Turkey in 2 days. 2 days I'll be in Istanbul, Turkey, and then I will be back in Houston on the 8th. I'll be in Istanbul for a day and a half. So I'll be in Houston on the 8th. I will be there for all of the preseason games. I'll be doing shows live from my studio there, which is much better than here, which is, so I'll keep you guys informed. Appreciate it. I will be checking the news daily. I'm going to check the news again when I get off. If something updated, I'll do a video. I appreciate it, guys. Take care. Enjoy it. Love Cowboy fans. This is it, man. Prescott and Dak is the new team. And Dak Prescott is